J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 5 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely, extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead for you to pay attention to that episode title. I'll even put that title in the description for you if that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up. I suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 5, episode number 7. The title of this episode is called Crossed. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. Keep in mind, it's an episode I've seen a few times. Just reviewing it to have it on the channel, and reviewing it due to the fact that they announced Season 11 of The Walking Dead will be the final season of the main Walking Dead show. We have Daryl returning to the church with Noah, informing the group of Beth and Carol's whereabouts. After some discussion, you have Rick, Daryl, Noah, and Tyrese with Sasha heading to Atlanta. They fortify the church by hacking apart the pews and the church's pipe organ to board up the doors and windows and build outer defenses to provide protection for Michonne, Carl, Father Gabriel, and baby Judith. Carl gives Gabriel a machete and tries to teach him how to defend himself, but he is simply unwilling to learn. Troubled by the desecration of his church and the slaughter of Terminus survivors, Gabriel secludes himself in his office, pries up the floorboards, and sneaks out under the floorboards where he immediately steps on a nail. Now, Gabriel is attacked by a walker in the woods, which he impales on a broken branch, but is unable to kill the walker after noticing it is wearing a cross on its chain. So that's kind of what happens at the church throughout the episode. And then we have Eugene, who is still unconscious, and Abraham has become essentially non-responsive. You have Glenn, Maggie, Tara, and Rosita debate whether or not they should return to the church. Glenn, Tara, and Rosita leave to find water, while Maggie stays behind to keep an eye on Eugene and Abraham. Eventually, Abraham does speak, claiming he still wants to live. Glenn, Tara, Rosita return with water and fish, as Eugene finally regains consciousness toward the end of the episode. And then at the hospital, you have Dawn, who is in a heated discussion with Officer O'Donnell over their inability to find Noah. Beth listens in as the subject turns to Carol. O'Donnell feels she is a lost cause and keeping her alive is a waste of resources. Beth intervenes, and an angry Dawn instructs O'Donnell to take Carol off life support. When O'Donnell leaves, Dawn chastises Beth for forcing her hand, but gives her the key to the drug locker so she can save Carol. Now, Dawn does admit that she respects Beth, and she shows a strength Dawn didn't think she possessed. Now, later, Beth confronts Dr. Edwards and convinces him to tell her which drug to save Carol. Beth retrieves some of the drug, which it's called epinephrine, I think, maybe. I don't know. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. Pronunciations of drugs are just terrible for me. She gets that from the locker and administers it to Carol. And then also we have Rick's group that has arrived in Atlanta, and Rick lays out a vague plan to infiltrate the hospital, capture Dawn, and force the whole place to stand down. Now, Tyrese feels this is too risky and proposes they instead capture cops and make an exchange of prisoners. And Daryl actually agrees with Tyrese, and Rick finds himself outvoted. Noah acts as bait and lures two officers, Sergeant Bob Lamson and Officer Shepard, into an ambush, quickly capturing them. Now, one of the officers, Sergeant Lamson, realizes that Rick is a cop, or was a cop, I should say. The two officers briefly escape when a third officer, Officer LeCarre, arrives as backup, and he starts shooting at them. But they all three are ultimately recaptured. Now Rick, or I should say now in Rick's custody, the officers insist Dawn won't trade them for them, as she doesn't like them anyway. But if released, vow to oust Dawn and install Lamson in her place. Now, Lamson, however, advises Rick that Dawn will start from a no negotiating position, but will compromise as she always does, and ultimately will make the trade. Meanwhile, Sasha is still distraught over Bob's death and becomes a little off when she discovers that Lamson's first name is also Bob. Come on, really? Jesus. And then when Rick, Tyrese, and Daryl leave to make contact with Dawn, Sasha is actually left alone with the prisoners, and Lamson tells her a heart-rending story about how his partner, who was killed in the bombings, has come back as a walker, but he never had a chance to put him out of his misery. Sasha offers to help out Lamson and put his partner to rest and get her own closure. I don't know what that would really be, but whatever. And Lamson guides her to a location from which she can shoot. However, when she takes aim, Lamson, still in handcuffs, runs at Sasha and knocks her out as he pushes her with his body into the window and knocks her out, and then flees as the episode ends. So, obviously, this is setting up the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 5. It has some good moments. I did like the development with Glenn and Rosita, along with Tara. They see that Rosita is actually useful as she can filter water, and they're going to need that because they don't know anybody else that filters water yet. As far as the character of the episode, there wasn't really one strong character. Everybody kind of did the same thing. I'm going to give the character of the episode to Maggie, and that can be disputed. But, I mean, who do you really give it to? I mean, kind of everybody did a little bit in this episode, but nobody did a lot. But Maggie got Abraham back on track. She pointed a gun at Abraham, might I add, because he slapped a bottle out of Rosita's hand, and he was a prick. So, again, it's setting up for a bigger episode. I'll give it an 8.0, like I said. And that's what I think. Now, of course, it's time for your opinion. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode from Season 5 Cross, go ahead and smash that like button. If you think you know anybody else that would be interested in viewing these videos, go ahead and share the video with them. And let them know that they can share it with whomever that they want to. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section. That could be a multitude of things. You can talk about your favorite episodes of The Walking Dead, your least favorite episodes, your favorite characters, least favorite characters, or you can simply just put your score of this particular episode and your character of the episode, and maybe your favorite moment, something like that. I'll respond to all comments because I don't really get any, or that many, I should say. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, be a part of something special, and JDev will return.